harvest. It's the end of basically anything that can't take a freeze. So we still have some greens and things like that in the garden. But between what I picked from the garden, which was all the tomatoes that you see here, and the zucchinis and squash, and the peppers. This was the biggest pepper I grew. Isn't that beautiful? I bought from the farmers markets the bell peppers and the cabbage for the piccalilli, and the onions and garlic. Isn't that gorgeous? So what I'm making today is actually a lot. I decided on 2 different recipes with the red tomatoes. I'm going to try my best with what I have left to make a tomato jam, tomato basil jam. And I'm also going to try and make, you know, some of these are really soft and squishy, ketchup, sugar-free ketchup, because of my way of eating. I don't eat carbs or sugar, so I am experimenting with new ways of canning so that I can have things from the garden all year long too, and not have to go to the store and buy tomatoes from who knows where, loaded with pesticides. So enough about that. Okay, then the other recipes I'm going to do are a piccalilli, which uses cabbage, bell peppers, green tomatoes, onions. Here are my recipes. Yeah, piccalilli. And all of these recipes will be down below. I'm not going to do everything step by step. I'm going to take you along as I go, but there's so much work involved in chopping and peeling and coring and doing all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just showing you what I'm starting with, and then after I've gotten everything prepared and ready to go to assemble each of the recipes, I'll then take you along for that too. Yeah, so I'm going to do a green tomato relish, sugar-free zucchini relish, and the piccalilli. So I've got quite a lot to do. As you can see, I'm just starting. I wanted to give you a good idea of really the scope of what it takes to can and preserve your harvest from your gardens. It's a lot of work to grow your own food, and it's a lot of work to put it up for the winter. Gifts, you know, I give a lot of things away as gifts to friends and family, and maybe as a thank you to someone who's done something nice for us, because, you know, we don't have a lot of money and we can't afford to pay people a lot of money. So you know, if someone helps us out here on the homestead, I like to have something homemade from the homestead to give them as a thank you. So, you know, it's barter, it's it's thank you gifts, it's our food that we eat. As you can see, I've got a huge array of things, implements, tools that you need to do your canning. If you're new to canning, oh my God, there are so many canning videos out there on YouTube. Please check them all out. A lot of people go to a lot of trouble to do step by step every single thing for you. Because I'm doing so many recipes today, because I have so much produce, I'm not doing step by step. But you get an idea. I have everything assembled here, what it takes. It's a massive project. And it'll probably take me a couple of days. Some of these recipes require you to put stuff in the fridge overnight or in a cool place overnight, which this garage is pretty much a cool place, so I'll be leaving stuff in here. In Maine, it stays nice and cool, refrigerator temperature. So the array of ingredients, besides the fresh ingredients, I'll come over here, we've got sugar, which goes in just about everything, or you can use honey, maple syrup. My sugar-free life has me using stevia, so I've got the liquid and I have a powder. Now stevia is like a teaspoon per cup of sugar equal. So if you're using a cup of sugar in your recipe, you want to put a teaspoon or maybe even a little less of the powder and maybe a teaspoon of the liquid. It is super sweet. I've never tasted anything so sweet before, and it's natural. So that's the best thing as far as I'm concerned. I can grow stevia. I have grown stevia, and it's awesome. I love it. Not this year. Future I will. Vinegar. Big deal. You need vinegar in just about everything. Your acidity is really important when you're canning. If your tomatoes are store-bought, you need the vinegar. I also have apple cider vinegar. Several recipes call for that. Salt. There's two kinds. I've got pickling and canning salt, and I also have the Morton's kosher salt. Different recipes will call for different salts. All the different spices and seasonings. There's a lot. Too many to name. Fresh ginger in one of the recipes. Turmeric. Mustard seed. Cinnamon sticks. Don't forget your canning jar and lids. The new lids don't have to be boiled anymore or softened like the old lids, so you can skip that step now if you have the new ones. The lids and rings that come on the new cases, don't use those lids for your canning. They already have the indentation and they could fail. Always use new lids. Clear gel, something for the jam and sometimes the relishes to get them to be the consistency of like store-bought. What else? I think that's it. You know, all your tools. This you use your funnel to fill your jars. This is a jar lifter, in case you don't know that. Take your jars out of the hot water. Your knives, your pans, your bowls, your measuring cups. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to do, and I think I'm going to get started now. So I hope you enjoy this video, and like I said, subscribe, thumbs up, let me know what you like. Love your comments. All right, so what I have is, this is a single recipe of the sugar-free zucchini relish. This is the green tomato relish. And this is the piccalilli. So basically what's going to happen now is I've covered them all in their requisite amounts of pickling salt, the canning salt, and they're all going to sit in the refrigerator overnight, and tomorrow I will continue on with the process. After 3 days of canning, because many things came up and I decided to let things ferment a little bit instead of just following the recipes. I went a little off recipe. This is my low sugar zucchini relish, and I'm only calling it low sugar because I used a tablespoon of maple syrup. It's negligible in all of these jars, so I'm not too worried about it, but I don't want to call it sugar-free in case a diabetic friend or somebody wants to try it or whatever, or I give it away. I just want it to be known that it's low sugar. I did use the stevia. I used the liquid instead of the powder. I find that the liquid tends to, it's really sweet, so you don't have to use as much and it goes a lot farther. So I used that. Stevia in general is super sweet, so you know, you have to play around with it quite a bit. As I was cooking the relish, I would taste it. This relish was interesting because it called for pepper, black pepper. None of the other relishes did, so it's very different. I have to say, it's very different. Actually, I can show you what it looks like on the inside. because this jar didn't seal. Let's see. I don't think you can see the pepper flakes in there. I can't either, really. I also added some cloves to this recipe because all of the other relish recipes had cloves. So I put it in this, and I think it helps with the flavor, most definitely. It definitely makes it more pickle-like. But anyway, so this one's going right in the fridge because it didn't seal. Out of all the jars that I made, how many did I make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 jars of relish. And I had one that didn't seal. That's pretty good odds. So that's the piccalilli. It made 2 pint jars and 3 half pints. They came out really good. Like I said, I taste everything before I can it, and that was really good. It does have sugar in it. It's full sugar. These are the relishes for gifts and husband. And we're going to actually make another batch of that. Maybe 2 batches more. We'll have to get more peppers, but I got the onions and the cabbage that I need and lots of green tomatoes. So yeah, I think we'll make maybe 2 more batches of the piccalilli because it was really good. And then this is the green tomato relish. Now this I did make a double batch out of, which is why I got 3 pint jars. And then 2 half pints. But this, it's so pretty. It tasted really good. If you're not a fan of green tomatoes, you've never had this relish. So, you know, most people have only ever had fried green tomatoes. Well, let me tell you, tomato relish is really good. Green tomato relish. So, again, same thing. Lots of green tomatoes left. I will probably make another double batch. So I'll get some more and we'll use them as gifts. Because, oh, and actually, you know what? I found a few recipes for green tomatoes. Green tomato relish. One of them called for cream cheese, softening some cream cheese and tossing the relish in and mixing it up, using that as a dip. Sounds amazing. I've made, there was a popular recipe for a while. You would get the tomato and onion relish. I can't remember the name of the brand. Very popular. And Harry and David. And do the same thing. Cream cheese with their tomato or onion. I think it's the onion and pepper relish. But I think it also has tomatoes in it. Anyway, that was very popular. You would eat with tortilla chips. It was really good. So we use that at parties quite a bit. But homemade is way better. You know all the ingredients in it, and you know, look how beautiful those are. Wouldn't you like to get one of those as a gift? I definitely love homemade gifts. I prefer them. So let's see. Yeah, this is my first batches of relish. And as you can see, I still have a lot of tomatoes and some in another bucket around here. So yeah, I would say if you have it, do it. It's worth it. And it's so good. And you have control. All right, have a great day, everybody.